Hello everybody, this is Houston Brown with Houston Brown Photography, and in this video I'll show you how to put some content on an otherwise blank TV screen. I've seen a couple of these and there's several ways you can go about doing it. I do it slightly different, and you can watch a few of the others and see which one works best for you. But one thing that all TVs have in common, or these days anyways for the most part, they are a 16:9 ratio. That is to say that they are HD, or what is it, 1920 by 1080. So we know that that's a constant. So we don't really have to guess as to, okay, what size the image need to be, etc., etc. I'm going to zoom in here onto this image and jump over here to this image. Now, what I'm doing here, rather than just take any old image and slap it in there, if it's a bathroom and it's kind of a relaxing, I went with a spa, you could do any other kind of relaxing image. And this is all up to you, okay? I'm just telling you what I do. In a media room, I probably put a movie up. If they got kids or something, I might put a cartoon or something. If it's an office, I might put some news station up there, stock quotes, etc., that kind of thing. So you use your imagination on that. But more importantly, what I think is another thing to consider is to match the colors that are already in, so it kind of blends in. Because remember, the idea is to highlight the room, not to draw attention to what's on the TV screen. So if I was to put an image, say like this, on that TV screen, which is blue, that's going to stand out like a sore thumb in this bathroom. So I don't really want to use that. So I went with something like this. I see some dark browns in here, and this whole bathroom is kind of obviously on the brownish side, tannish side. So anything with skin color is probably going to work. This particular spa image has a lot of those same tones. So I don't want to get into all the color corrections and matching color, but just to throw you out another idea or consideration to make. So as I was talking about before, the ratio is 16:9. So given that, I'm going to go over here to my marquee tool. And over here where it says style, I'm going to say fixed ratio. And we know it's 16:9. Now I know that the ratio of this image that I'm going to select, this is almost 16:9, but not quite. So now I don't have to kind of guess or re-distort an image that I bring in on top of that TV. So I'm just going to go up here and go under Image and Crop, or Shift Command C. And now I'm going to bring this image into this bathroom image. But before I do that, this is going to be a huge image because I downloaded this full size from a stock photography. So I'm going to reduce this size. You can see that's 4256. So I'm going to bring it down to about 1200. We could do that after we brought it in, but let's just do it here. So I'm going to switch to my Move tool by hitting the V key, and I'm just going to click and drag this up here and let go in this image. Now, this brings up a good kind of real world situation. See how that is an awful color now? That's because the color space is incorrect. And I've turned off all those pop-ups that come up in Photoshop. I probably need to change that back or make it to where it matches the color space that's in here. So I'm going to undo that a couple times. And let's go back here. And all I have to do is go into Edit, Convert to Profile. I'm using Pro Photo, so you can see this is sRGB. I want to convert it to Pro Photo, say OK. And now when I drag it, it should be just fine. And it is. So now that we know that the aspect ratio is correct. It's just a matter of distorting it. So all I have to do is zoom in here. I'm going to put this image up in the corner of the TV. That's all I need to do. I'm going to get rid of my two panels over here because I really don't need them. So I'm going to hit Shift Tab so we have a little more room. Now we want to do free transform on this image. So I'm just going to hit Command T or Control T on a PC. And I'm going to drag this. I'm going to hold down the Shift key to keep the aspect ratio and just get it roughly to about the right size on the left side. I'm just watching the left side of the image, okay, to make sure it matches the height. So somewhere about right in there. Now all I have to do is hold down the Command key, still while in free transform, or the Control key on the PC. And when I move my cursor close to this corner, you'll see it turns to a white arrow. So now I can click this and drag this down into that corner. Go up here and do the same for this one and drag it into that corner. And we could zoom in here and do it exactly. Now I'm just going to hit enter, and there's our image set in there. Now some people blur the edge of this, but your edges of your TV are actually quite tack sharp. Now we could stop there, but of course we have the reflection of the TV. We really need to reverse this and put it in there, but since we know how to do this, I'm going to assume you could do that as well. Just flip it. And I'm going to bring back my right-hand panels on this side. I'm going to change the blend mode of this image to screen, just to kind of bring back some of the brightness or some of the glare. If you have a TV that's got glare on it, this will make it a little bit more realistic. And I even go and just fade it out a little bit because the TV really shouldn't be that bright. It could be. I realize that if that was a real TV and that was on. But again, I don't want to bring too much attention to the TV. I just want you to know that there's something on the TV. Now the other thing you might want to consider is we could just blur this just a little bit by like a ½ pixel, just to make it a little bit less. And that's all there is. It's sweet and simple. That's all you got to do to replacing an image on a TV. Now, what would it look like if I put this image in here? Let's just do it real quick for practice. Again, first thing we should do is our color conversion. Let's get it in the right color space. Then we'll go to our marquee tool. We already have 16:9. Crop it. Take the move tool. I'm not going to resize this one. It'll be gigantic when we bring it in here. I'm going to use our free transform tool and just get it to a manageable size. Then I'll zoom in here and we'll put this in the left-hand corner like that. And remember, I'm just looking at the left-hand side to make sure that's correct. And now all I have to do is grab these corners holding down my command key or control key on the PC and match it up, hit enter, and there we go. So you can see, let's change the blend mode of this to screen like we did the other one. You can see that image in this room stands out quite a bit more than this image does here. See the difference? Well, we'd have to turn that one off. It kind of pulls the color from this window a little bit, I suppose. But I would rather turn something like this into the client. That's up to you. Just something I like to do, but that is completely up to you. So all in all, you could probably do that in less than a minute. I guess you'd have to go find an image. That might take you more time than anything. But if you have kind of some assets that you use all the time working on your real estate images, you could probably do this in a minute or two, which isn't very long. Anyways, if you found this video helpful, just give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or other tips in doing the same technique, I'd love to hear them. And this is Houston Brown with Houston Brown Photography. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.